Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Raven and welcome back to my channel. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about Battlefront 2 and its version of microtransactions, which is actually 100% pay to win. Now before we get into the pay to win part, I want to say first of all my feelings on microtransactions as a whole, so that way people know where I stand on this. So when it comes to microtransactions, I really don't have an issue with them as long as they are 100% cosmetic only. Perfect examples of this done right, which I have no problem with, and in fact I've spent a fair bit of money on, is League of Legends, for example. Okay, League of Legends back in the day, I haven't played it since then. They could have gone pay to win, no idea, but for the most part back then you could just buy skins. Okay, they put out a brand new skin, you buy some riot points, you buy the skin, you look different, it's cool. It doesn't affect the actual gameplay in any way, shape or form. Heroes of the Storm, another example of that. Back in the day, there's just a skin, you buy the skin, you're good to go. In terms of MMOs, you have the Elder Scrolls Online. That game when it launched wasn't so good, it's fucking amazing now, and they still have the cash shop where you can buy skins. Yes, they've done some, you know, weird loot box shit and stuff lately, which I'm not all for. We'll get into that later, but for the most part, if you want, like, you know, a brand new mount, you can just buy it. It doesn't affect the game as a whole. And in fact, I actually encourage games to have some form of microtransactions in the term of cosmetics, because as I said, it doesn't affect the actual gameplay whatsoever, and it gives people something cool to buy if they have extra money lying around or they want to support the game further, so on and so forth, and it gives them something to buy there so they can look cool. Which in my opinion, whenever I play any game with any sort of like customization, I spend a shitload of time customizing my character. I love all like transmog type stuff. For me personally, if my character looks shit, I play a little bit shit, and if I can spend a little bit of money to, you know, get a really cool skin or something, or if I can go spend hours farming some transmog or something, I will do it. So cosmetics, I'm 100% fine with. And when it comes to season passes and DLC and all that sort of bullshit, okay, DLC I am fine with as long as the base game is released. Okay, everything that was going to be in the base game is there, and then later on after the base game's released, they make DLC afterwards. That I'm fine with. I am not fine with DLC being basically just parts of the main game that have been cut and then sold later on. That is a load of shit, and I'm against that 100%. And when it comes to season passes, they can go die in a goddamn fire. Why the hell are you charging me for content that isn't even released yet, you fucking assholes? So cosmetics, I'm cool with. DLC, as long as it's made after the base game is released, I'm cool with. And season passes can get fucked. So with that basis set, now we're going to be talking about Star Wars Battlefront number 2. Now when it comes to the Star Wars Battlefront 2, I actually really enjoyed the game. I had a shit ton of fun playing the beta, but I do think it's going to run into the same issue that number 1 ran into, where, you know, after a while you're sort of just running around shooting people for the sake of it. I don't know if they're going to be putting in a ranked mode or something, but I don't see much longevity there. It's good to just jump on for a couple of hours, go pew pew Star Wars, and then you're done. But overall, it was a load of fun, and I fucking love a lot of the improvements they've done to the game. And in fact, I liked it so much, I played for a couple of hours and I actually pre-ordered the game, something I don't do very often. But by the end of the beta, I cancelled my pre-order, and that has to do with one thing and one thing only, and that is the fact that the game is 100% pay to win. Now, the reason why the game is 100% pay to win is because they have the whole star card system that was from the first game. They've put it into the second game, and that is your only source of progression. Now, that wouldn't be so bad, except for the fact that the way you get these star cards that, you know, affect the in-game power, which we'll get into in a second, is you have to buy loot crates. So all of these star cards that, you know, affect your characters and so on and so forth are in loot crates, okay? And then you get credits in-game that you can buy the loot crates with, but once again, like Overwatch and everything else, you're going to get a lot at the start, and then it's going to start to be slower and slower and slower, and it's going to trickle down from there to the point where getting loot crates is, you know, you got to play maybe 50, 30 games, 20 games, whatever, in order to get a couple of loot crates. Or what you could do is go to the shop and drop a few, you know, dollars, maybe $5 here, $10 there, so on and so forth, to get yourself a whole bunch of loot crates nice and quick. You open them up, you get these star cards, and now we get to the problem. These star cards affect the power of your characters. So in Star Wars Battlefront 2, now they've gone with a class system, okay? So you can, you know, have the specialist, which is sort of like the sniper, heavy class, big fucking machine guns, and every single class that you go has these star cards that you can equip. Some affect your rate of fire, some of them, you know, give you good cooldown reduction, so you're shooting more often, which means more DPS. Other ones give you health every single time you kill someone, and they come in different levels, okay? So you have silver, you have bronze, you have gold. I think there's also a fourth one like platinum or some shit, and each one of them makes the effect you're getting better. So for the perfect example here, I'm going to use Boba Fett, okay? Boba Fett is in the game, and he has this ability where he jumps into the air and you can fire rockets and stuff, okay? So as you're, you know, flying through the air firing rockets, there is a star card you can get. If you use this star card at a bronze level, okay, you get 50% damage reduction while you're flying in the air. That on the face of of it is already incredibly fucking pay to win because, like I said, you have 50% damage reduction if you're hovering in the air. But it gets even worse. If you get lucky enough or spend enough money, you can get a platinum or gold version of that card, which means when you're flying around in the air shooting rockets, you have 100% damage reduction. You become invincible. Now that is a very, very big problem. Now I've actually seen some people out there try and say that this isn't pay to win, and that literally fucking blows my mind. The only people who will look at this brand new system and go, this isn't pay to win, are people who either don't know any better or they're fucking retarded, because this is hands down 100% pay to win, the very definition of it. Okay, yes, you can get these things in game through these like little, you know, loot crates that you get, but the problem is you only get so many credits in the game. Okay, so per game, no matter how well you do, every single person on your team will get the same amount of credits. That's right, you can't even get more credits at the end of the game for doing well. If you go into a game and you get, say, 40, 50, 60 kills, you can get 120 kills. Okay, mop the fucking floor with the enemy team, it won't matter. If some guy goes in, gets 0 kills, at the end of the match you both will get the same amount of credits based on whether you won or lost. So you can't even pull ahead of everyone else in terms of getting crates naturally through the credit system in game. So the only way to get these loot boxes naturally in the game is to, once again, like I said, play games and get credits. But the problem with that is it's still RNG, because instead of them going, okay, here are all the star cards, once you have, say, 1,000 credits, you can buy whichever one you want and then have the different levels of them. It's in a loot crate. So it's 100% gambling, it's 100% RNG, and you have to sit there and roll the dice on it. So for example, okay, say you play 10 games and you get yourself 1,000 credits, 1,100 credits, whatever it takes to buy a loot box. In the beta, it was 1,000 to about 1,100 credits. So you finally play enough games and you get those credits, you buy yourself a loot box, you open it up. You would think to yourself, cool, I've got myself a crate, now I'm going to get a whole bunch of these star cards, except EA went in and put a whole bunch of useless emotes and so on and so forth in the loot crates to once again dilute the pool, so that way you have to buy more crates or, you know, spend more time, you know, playing the game to get crates in order to get the star cards you want. So every time you open up a crate, you have to hope that you don't get an emote, you then gotta hope that you don't get a, like, you know, a stance, victory stance fucking thing, and then you have to hope that you get a star card for the class you're playing, and then once you get a star card for the class you're playing, you better hope it's a good one, and then you also gotta hope that it's, you know, a high tier, so a gold or a platinum one. Now those are a whole lot of steps that you have to go through in order to just get the best version of those cards to make yourself really, really strong in game. Now keep in mind, as I said before, you have to play maybe 8 or so games, 9 games, 10 games in order to get enough credits to buy one loot crate. And here is where the bullshit comes into play. Okay, you can either spend all that time farming up, you know, those games and getting those credits to buy one loot crate, or you could go to the store and they'll have their bundles there, spend $10, get 20 crates, spend fucking, you know, $100 for the best deal and get maybe 150 crates. And once you've brought all those crates, guess what? You can open up a crate, and if you don't get the freaking card you want at the level you want, so say you open up a card and you want that Boba Fett one, you don't get it, it doesn't matter, you just brought like 10 crates, go through all 10 crates, you didn't get it, keep buying crates until you get it. And then once you spend enough money on these crates, you have a whole bunch of these overpowered platinum cards or gold cards, whatever it goes up to, for all the heroes. You then jump into the game and you just stomp on people. Okay, so anyone else out there who doesn't have any of these cards because they're trying to farm it up normally, like I said, 8 to 10 games just to get one crate, some guy just jumped in, dropped $100 and got 100 crates, that guy is going to be 10 times stronger than the person who's trying to do it naturally. Which means if those two people were going to come up against each other and fight each other, guess who's going to win? The guy who hasn't spent any money whatsoever and is using the stock standard class, or the guy who's using the class but he brought a bunch of crates and now he's overpowered as shit? Of course, the pay to win guy is going to win the game. This is a really big fucking deal, and I see so many people trying to play this off as not a big deal and trying to defend the fact that it's not pay to win, when it is 100% by the definition pay to win. You are paying for an advantage over people. And I have seen people try and bring up the argument, oh, but it's not that big of a difference, like some of them only give you like 10% extra bonus on something, and that's their reasoning for why it's not that big of a deal, and you know, it's not really pay to win, because you know, you can't win instantly with it. Let me break this down for you. Okay, by the very definition of what pay to win is, if you can pay to get a 0.0001% advantage over anyone else, the game is pay to win. You are paying for an advantage. If two people are on the exact same skill level, okay, they are even. Instead of it being skill based, if one person has that 0.0001% advantage, he's going to win over the other guy, even though they have the exact same skill, because he has that slight edge, and that is a 0.001% boost. Some of these boosts go up to 100%, like I said. Some of them give you 60% extra health on certain things. things, like the bomber in the galactic star thing where you fly around in space. Other ones give you like 40% extra health after you kill someone. Stupid shit like that. Of course, someone can spend a lot of money, kit their guy out, but if they can't shoot for shit, they're gonna lose regardless. But the difference is, we're not talking about shitlords who pay to win and then can't win because they're crap. We're talking about people who are pretty goddamn good at the game already, people who also have a lot of time to spend in the game playing, and then they pay to win on top of that. Those guys are just going to crush every single person out there because they have the skill already, they have the time to play 24/7 essentially, and now they've paid to win on top of that. It is 100% pure bullshit. And my massive fucking fear is that EA has done this on purpose, okay? They have put this blatant pay to win loot box crap in Battlefront 2 because they're trying to see if they can get away with it. And I can guarantee you right now, if they get this through and they sell millions upon millions of copies like they did with the first Battlefront, which they're probably gonna fucking do anyway because it's Star Wars, then they're gonna turn around and go, look how much money we made off putting something that's 100% pay to win in the game, and then every single other motherfucking company out there is gonna do it as well. And then every single fucking game is gonna turn into a pay to win shitfest. This is crap that used to be in free to play games. Not too long ago, we're talking a couple of years ago, if that, this shit was only ever seen in free to play games. Free to play MMOs where once you get to the end game, you can pay to win. All that bullshit. Never in my life did I think I would see this shit put into AAA full price games. Here in Australia, if I want to buy this game, it's going to cost me $100 just for the base version. If I buy the base version of the game, I've spent $100, and then if I want to pay to win, I can essentially drop another 100 on it and then just become a goddamn god in the game. And yes, I'm pretty good at the game as it is, and that's going to make me even better, and then I can just run around crushing people. But I don't want to do that. I want to play a game that's based around skill, not how much money you have in your wallet and how much money you're willing to spend. Loot boxes as a whole need to die, even from just a pure cosmetic standpoint, which I said at the start of the video, I'm 100% for. I fucking hate loot boxes for the pure and simple fact that it's once again gambling. It's random. I don't want to gamble. If I see a skin, I want to look at the skin and go, that's a nice skin. I will give you $10 for that skin, $5 for that skin, whatever the price is. I want to be able to buy that particular thing and go, that's mine now, and then use it. I don't want to look at a skin and go, I really want that skin. Now I got to go buy 50 loot boxes and hope I get lucky. That practice as a whole is fucking retarded, and the only reason why companies use it is to get more money out of people. It's literally gambling, and there is no way around that. People try and say loot boxes aren't gambling. You're full of fucking shit. It's gambling. Don't fucking lie to people. And people try and say that this isn't pay to win in Battlefront 2. Once again, you're full of shit. Don't lie to people. This whole thing needs to stop, and it needs to end. Shadow of War. I fucking was so hyped for that game, and I haven't touched it yet because they put loot boxes in a single player goddamn fucking game where you can pay to get legendary orcs, and the only way to get the true ending is to basically spend money on loot boxes or spend a fuck ton of time grinding. Loot boxes are already starting to become the normal thing in this industry, and that is extremely fucking bad for all of us, the consumers, because like I said before, you can't just buy the thing you want. You have to just go through RNG and gambling mechanics and all this bullshit to get what you want. Roll the dice, hope you get lucky. And that was bad enough as it is, but now they're putting this pay to win bullshit in it as well. This is the first try. If this works, we're fucked. Can you imagine what the next Battlefield 1 or the next fucking Call of Duty is gonna have? Oh, you better fucking believe it's gonna have pay to win loot boxes if it fucking works here in Battlefront 2. And if that happens, the future's going to be, I hope you have deep wallets or go fuck yourself. If these companies want to make extra money after they've sold the game at a full price, cosmetics. Sell things as cosmetics. No loot boxes, no RNG. Just go, here's the fucking skin. Make a really cool skin and go, this thing's cool. You want to buy it, and people will buy it. League of Legends have done it for fucking ages, and they've made billions of dollars off of it. But these companies aren't happy with making billions. They want to make trillions, and then trillions upon trillions of dollars. That's why they're doing this. They've gone, oh, we're making billions of fucking skins. Cool, let's put all the skins in a loot crate, fill it with all this bullshit that people won't want, so that way they'll buy more loot crates, and instead of making billions, we can make trillions. And all of that is at the expense of us, the people who are buying these games, and the people who are playing these games, and the people who are supporting these companies by buying the games. Without us, these guys can't make games anymore, and they're fucking us in the ass, and it needs to stop. But that is all I have for this video. I'm going to be branching out as well, just so you all know. I'm going to be doing a lot more topics on different games, different things that are happening as well. I also like doing my reviews and all that sort of stuff, so I'm going to be branching out. I'm going to be focusing a lot more on this sort of stuff, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this video, and what do you think about this pay to win bullshit that's in Battlefront 2, and what do you think about the whole loot box bullshit as well as going around the industry right now. I really want to hear your thoughts on this, guys. And please share this video around. It helps me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.